A very good afternoon to the member of panel, organizing committee, and all the audiences sitting on their screens. My name is Amitabh Mishra, and I'm a faculty of management at GLA University, Mathura. You can see the title of my research. It is investigating the impact of joining business management program on the students' entrepreneurship intention and applications of agents TPB. TPB means theory of planned behavior, right? In this paper, we applied theory of planned behavior to analyze the students' entrepreneurial intentions. First of all, let's understand what exactly the role of entrepreneurship is and how these entrepreneurial intentions can be useful for the understanding of it can be useful for the decision makers as well as scholars. Policyholders firmly believe that entrepreneurial activities can boost economic growth of a nation and solve the problems such as poverty and unemployment. There are limited job opportunities in today's highly competitive job environment in both public as well as private sector. Job environment has also failed to provide so-called job security to the employees as the government and private organization has failed to provide the right type of employment. Students are becoming more and more inclined toward starting the entrepreneurial venture in the response of changing expectations of the youth and the job scenario. The educational institutions introduced several entrepreneurial educational programs aimed toward promoting entrepreneurship as a career. In the light of above introduction, we have drafted the problem statements. It says undertaking a study that apply Eisen's theory of planned behavior to investigate undergraduate business management program students' intention to opt entrepreneurship as an career option. So many people, many students today are seriously looking towards the entrepreneurship as a career. So in our research, we attempt to measure the newly admitted students' intention to opt entrepreneurship as a career. So you must be very well aware with the essence theory of planned behavior, but let me summarize it in brief. Essence have identified three major components, and he has mentioned that these components together can be used to study the intention to opt entrepreneurship as a career, right? These three components are attitude towards the given behavior, subjective norms, and perceived self efficacy, right? If the students are having three favorable attitudes toward these three favorable components, they are more prone to opt entrepreneurship as a career, right? So we have used this Essence theory of entrepreneurship, theory of measuring entrepreneurial intention to measure the intentions of management students, newly admitted management students to opt entrepreneurship as a career. We have referred more than 20 research papers and books. For the purpose of writing this research paper, a brief summary is presented in the table given here, right? For the purpose of solving the research problem, uh, for the purpose of addressing the problem statements, right, we have designed two research questions, and on the basis and finally we drafted few hypotheses. You can see here in the slide, the first research question is, can joining an undergraduate business management program significantly change the students' attitude toward the entrepreneurship as a career choice. And the three hypotheses were drafted from this first research question. First, joining the business management program would not significantly impact the students' attitude toward entrepreneurial behavior. Second hypothesis was joining a business management program would not significantly impact the students' perceived self-efficacy. And third, the joining a business management program would not significantly impact the students' subjective norms. These were the third hypothesis drafted from the first research question. The second research question was, can entrepreneurial intention among the Indian students be successfully predicted by Agen's three component of attitude? This is very important thing. Okay, so we tried to check the Agen's theory of entrepreneurial intentions, right, on Indian scenario. And if yes, the attitude, which attitude component has strongest influence on entrepreneurial intentions? The three hypotheses which we drafted for this research question was, the attitude toward the entrepreneurship behavior has no longer significant influence on entrepreneurial intentions. Second, the hypothesis which was drafted for research question 2 was, the perceived self-efficacy has no significant influence on entrepreneurial intention. And the third hypothesis drafted for the second research question was, the subjective norms, this which was the third component of Azon's theory of planned behavior. The subjective norms have no significant influence on entrepreneurial intention. So there were two research questions in total, six hypotheses. We have surveyed total 360 students who have recently joined the undergraduate business management program, that is BBA, right? So this is the sample composition of that. You can find a fair blend of male and female, self-employed and uh, uh, serviced parents, and uh, people having income of different stratas. You can find it, you can easily see it. The research was basically longitudinal in nature, right? So we conducted a longitudinal research, uh, and we have collected the data using an structured and non-disguised question, which was basically measuring the three components of Agent's theory of planned behavior. The questionnaire was executed in the face-to-face personal interview with the students in a private university in NCR of India. The data were collected in two phases. Okay, the first phase, when the students joined the BBA program, and the second phase when they completed the first year of BBA program. The same students were interviewed at the time of joining BBA program and at the time of uh, completing the first year of their undergraduate uh, business management program. There were five parts in the questionnaire. The first part measure their demographics. The second part measure entrepreneurial intentions of the students, which had 7 items. The third part measure attitudes toward the entrepreneurship behavior, which had 6 items. Fourth part measure subjective norms, which had 4 items. And fifth part measured perceived self-efficacy, which had 4 items. The instruments were was checked for the validity and reliability also. The data were entered in the SPSS, and we have used paired sample t-test and linear regression analysis. The paired sample t-test rejected the first three null hypotheses, HO1, HO2 and HO3, and provided statistical evidences to support that the business management program changed the attitude of students toward the entrepreneurship. So this is very important finding, that those who undergo business management program just change their attitude toward the entrepreneurship. Okay. Further, the latter three hypotheses were also rejected, by the t-test, right? And we can find out, we can see that all three agents attitude components have significant influence on students entrepreneurial intentions. The entrepreneurial intentions is significantly affected by three, okay, three components of Agent's theory of planned behavior. The R square statistics also provided the degree of influence, and according to that, the subjective norm has maximum influence on entrepreneurial intention, and it was followed by entrepreneurship behavior and perceived self efficacy, right? Finally, it can be concluded that the undergraduate business management programs significantly change the attitude against entrepreneurship behavior, perceived as self-efficacy, and subjective norms. Hence, it may be held that undergraduate business management programs have potential to influence students' entrepreneurial intentions. Further, the multiple regression analysis provide evidences that Azon's three attitude component model had significant influence on students' entrepreneurial intention, and the subjective norm has the strongest influence on students' uh, entrepreneurial intentions. Right? This is this is what we researched, and this is we have tried to present major findings of our study in this research paper. That's all from our side. Thanks all. Thanks a lot for showing the patience to hearing me and uh, just taking an insight from